we have bumped in with Kanye West music?
Oh, we have plenty of Kanye.
Wait a minute. You always ask how many people are in the band. That's called Ride, 21 Pilots. How many people in the band? Are there 21?
There could be.
I don't think so.
No? Imagine Dragons is way too crowded. That's my one problem. That was last hour.
I'm glad you brought up the word dragon, because what did Kanye West say? He called it dragon energy.
That's right.
He was at the White House yesterday bringing that dragon energy to Donald Trump.
Absolutely. It was the wild, wild West Wing yesterday. Kanye was busy. After he was in the West Wing, he wound up going over to the Georgetown Apple store, jumped up on a table, and gave a landmark address.
We all do at one point.
Yeah, he was giving a keynote speech, he referred to it. Of course, that was after making history in the Oval Office with a stream of conscious kind of soliloquy. If you missed it, you missed a lot. Watch.
They tried to scare me to not wear this hat. But this hat, it gives me power in a way. It was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. We really get caught up in the idea of racism over the idea of industry. We feel that stop and frisk does not help the relationships in the city. That's the number one thing that we're having this conversation about.
What about gun violence?
Illegal guns is the problem. Not legal guns. We have the right to bear arms. You said I guess you know I love you.
I don't want to put you in that spot. But.
No, I'm standing in that spot. I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
Wow, that was great. That was unscripted, and that was real. I mean, the language was over the top. I don't think the language has really been spoken on camera in the Oval Office like that.
Yeah, there was.
I know there's some Nixon tapes out there that aren't too.
He was so honest, though. I mean, he shouted out love to Hillary Clinton, says he loves her, but he doesn't relate to her, and looked at the president and he said, "You've taught me to be brave, and I love wearing this hat. It makes me feel like Superman."
Yep, there you go. Meanwhile, Geraldo Rivera joins us live. He's Fox News correspondent at large. Geraldo, I know you watched the Oval Office soliloquy and the back and forth. What did you think?
I thought it was great, you know, and I also thought with bitter irony that in 2005, Kanye West was the darling of the mainstream media because he condemned Republican President George W. Bush's response to Hurricane Katrina. So in 2005, the media loved Kanye. In 2018, because he embraces the Republican president, the media jumps all over him. I think when you listen to what he said, if you kind of divorce it, I know it's difficult from the burlesque theater there. Kanye made some excellent points. He said he and the president have a shared interest in fighting urban violence, trade imbalances, prisons, oppressive prisons that employ, among other things, involuntary servitude. You know, I thought that Kanye made some very important substantive points, but I think the media just can't deal with the fact that here you have a prominent man of color embracing the 45th president of the United States.
Well, if you want some proof that the media can't handle it, here's the proof.
It was like watching a train wreck, because it was, and the president just sat there.
Kanye West was really talking about all this stuff and really not making a lot of sense in front of President Trump. It was a truly bizarre moment.
You had there a man who's clearly not okay, and a president who's willing to exploit that.
This was an embarrassment. Kanye's mother is rolling over in her grave.
Well, what do you think?
You know, I like most of the people you just showed, particularly Don Lemon, but I just think that they are so thin-skinned and narrow-minded themselves when it comes to Trump derangement syndrome. They cannot abide, you know, anything other than a united front opposing this president. Kanye believes, as I do, we get one president at a time. He does well, the nation does well. To root for the president to fail is to root for the country to fail. Kanye totally gets it. When I spoke to the president 2 weeks ago, I made the specific point. I said, Mr. President, you know, you have substantial support among people of color. Look at these men. You have Kanye West, you have Tiger Woods, the golf champion, and you have football great Jim Brown, who was sitting alongside Kanye, didn't get much play because of Kanye's flamboyant performance there. But the fact of the matter is, this rising economic tide that has lifted all boats and has reduced unemployment in the African American community to historic lows is the best social program there is. Maybe Kanye did a very, kind of a flamboyant, extraordinary performance, but the core message was that this is the way to improve the plight of the urban poor. And I thought that he was terrific. I mean, I would have preferred maybe it happened on a day that we weren't talking about, Saudi journalists getting carved up by their government, or Hurricane Michael ravaging the Gulf Coast, or the stock market plunging. But when is a good day? This is the political season. They had it scheduled. They made the point. I thought that he did fine. It's great, very entertaining.
You mentioned political season. We're only a few weeks away.